Yehovah, open my ears to hear, my eyes to see, and my heart to understand. Remove the thorns, hard soil, and shallow places. Shape me into good soil that receives your word and bears lasting fruit for your glory. Yehovah, Dover, Emet. Yehovah, who speaks truth. Speak your truth into my heart, Yehovah. Let nothing choke, steal, or scorch the seed you plant within me. Yehovah, Dover, Emet. Holy, holy, holy. Please fill me and lead me, and cover me and stir me, and speak through me with your Ruach HaKodesh, your set-apart breath, your Holy Spirit, that I may speak your written words with boldness and humility to those who listen. I ask all these things in Yeshua Mashiach, Jesus the Christ, the Messiah, the Anointed, the Aleph and the Tav's name. Amen. We'll start with the Shema. Listen and obey. Children of Yehovah, pay careful attention and respond. Yehovah is our power and authority. Yehovah works in unity with himself, and you shall act upon your love to Yehovah with your power and authority, with your thoughts and mind, with your entire body, and with all the muchness that you have. Yeh-ho-VAH. Hand, behold, now, behold. Matthew chapter 13. That same day, Yeshua, the Aleph and the Tav, went out of the house and sat down by the lake. But such a large crowd gathered around him that he got into a boat and sat there while the crowd stood on the shore. He told them many things in parables. A farmer went out to sow his seed. As he sowed, some seed fell alongside the path, and the birds came and ate it up. Other seed fell on rocky patches where there was not much soil. It sprouted quickly because the soil was shallow. But when the sun had risen, the young plants were scorched, and since their roots were not deep, they dried up. Other seed fell among the thorns, which grew up and choked the plants. But others fell into rich soil, produced grain 100 or 60 or 30 times as much as had been sown. Those who have ears, let them hear. Then the Talmudim disciples came and asked Yeshua, the Aleph and the Tav, "Why are you speaking in parables?" He answered, "Because it has been given to you to know the secrets of the kingdom of heaven, but it has not been given to them. For anyone who has something will be given more, so that he will have plenty. But from anyone who has nothing, even what he does have will be taken away. Here is why I'm speaking to them in parables. They look without seeing and listen without hearing or understanding. That is, in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Yeshayahu, which says, you will keep on hearing but never understand, and keep on seeing but never perceive, because the heart of this people has become dull. With their ears they barely hear, with their eyes they have closed, so as not to see with their eyes, hear with their ears, understand with their heart, to do teshuvah, so that I could heal them. But you, how blessed are your eyes, because they see, and your ears, because they hear. Yes, indeed, I tell you that many a prophet and many a Tzaddik longed to see the things you are seeing, but did not see them, and to hear the things you are hearing, but did not hear them. So listen. Listen to what the parables of the sower means. Whoever hears the message about the kingdom, but doesn't understand it, is like the seed sown along the path. The evil one comes and seizes what has been sown in his heart. The seed sown on rocky ground is like a person who hears the message and accepts it with joy at once, but has no root in himself. So he stays on for a while, but as soon as some trouble or persecution arises on account of the message, he immediately falls away. Now the seed sown among the thorns stands for someone who hears the message, but it is choked out by the worries of the world, the deceitful glamour of wealth, so that it produces nothing. However, what was sown on the rich soil is one who hears the message and understands it. Such a person will surely bear fruit 100 or 60 or 30 times what was sown. Yeshua, the Aleph and the Tav, put before them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a man who sowed good seed in his field. But while people were sleeping, his enemy came and sowed weeds among the wheat, then went away. When the wheat sprouted and formed heads of grain, the weeds also appeared. The owner's servants came to him and said, "Sir, didn't we sow good seed in your field? Where have the weeds come from?" He answered, "An enemy has done this." The servants asked him, "And do you want us to go pull them up?" But he said, "No, because if you pull up the weeds, you might uproot some of the wheat at the same time. Let them both grow together until the harvest. And at harvest time, I will tell the reapers to collect the weeds first and tie them in bundles to be burned, but to gather the wheat into my barn." Yeshua, the Aleph and the Tav, put before them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man takes and sows in his field. It is the smallest of all seeds, but when it grows up, it is larger than any garden plant and becomes a tree, so that the birds flying about come and nest in its branches. And he told them yet another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like yeast that a woman took and mixed with a bushel of flour, then waited until the whole batch of dough rose. All these things Yeshua, the Aleph and the Tav, said to the crowds in parables. Indeed, he said nothing to them without using a parable. This was to fulfill what had been spoken through the prophet. "I will open my mouth in parables. I will say what has been hidden since the creation of the universe." Then he left the crowds and went into the house. His Talmudim disciples approached him and said, "Explain to us the parable of the weeds in the field." He answered, "The one who sows the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. As for the good seed, there are the people who belong to the kingdom, and the weeds are the people who belong to the evil one. The enemy who sows them is the adversary. The harvest is the end of the age, and the harvesters are angels. Just as the weeds are collected and burned up in the fire, so will it be at the end of the age. The Son of Man will send forth his angels, and they will collect out of his kingdom all the things that cause people to sin, and all the people who are far from Torah. And they will throw them into the fiery furnace, where people will wail and grind their teeth. Then the righteous will shine forth like the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Whoever has ears, let him hear. The kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hidden in a field. A man found it, hid it again, then in great joy went and sold everything he owned and bought that field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant on the lookout for fine pearls. On finding one very valuable pearl, he went away, sold everything he owned, and bought it. Once more, the kingdom of heaven is like a net thrown into the lake that caught all kinds of fish. When it was full, the fishermen brought the net onto the shore, sat down and collected the good fish in baskets, but threw the bad fish away. So it will be at the close of the age. The angels will go forth and separate the evil people from among the righteous, and throw them into the fiery furnace, where they will wail and grind their teeth. Have you understood all these things? Yes, they answered. He said to them, So then, every Torah teacher who had been made into a Talmud disciple for the kingdom of heaven is like the owner of a home who brings out of his storage room both new and old. When Yeshua, the Aleph-Tav, had finished these parables, he left and went to his hometown. There he taught them in their synagogues in a way that astounded them, so that they asked, "Where do this man's wisdom and parables come from? Isn't he the carpenter's son? Isn't his mother called Miriam? And his brothers Yaakov, Yosef, Shimon, and Yehudah? And his sisters, aren't they all with us? So where does he get all this?" And they took offense at him. But Yeshua, the Aleph-Tav, said to them, "The only place people don't respect a prophet is in his hometown and in his own house." And he did few miracles there because of their lack of trust. What is the Hebrew word that encapsulates this chapter? Zera, seed, that which carries life, destiny, and a future fruit. Everything in this chapter revolves around the seed of the kingdom of the word planted into the heart. Core theme: the sower controls the chapter. Every parable is a reflection of the sower's truth. The heart determines one's destiny. Faithfulness is proof of understanding. Hearing is spiritual, not merely physical. This is the master key to all the kingdom interpretation. How can we love our Creator, Yehovah, with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength? We can love Yehovah by cultivating a heart that receives His word with depth and obedience. Love Yehovah by removing anything that competes with His seed: worry, wealth, distraction. Love Yehovah by persevering until the seed becomes fruit that honors Him. How can we love our neighbors as we love ourselves and as Yeshua loves us? By sowing the word generously, trusting Yehovah to bring growth. By being patient with those who are still forming spiritually. By being patient with those who are still forming spiritual hearing. By reflecting kingdom values, humility, patience, peace in daily life. How can we bear one another's burdens? By helping others identify the thorns and obstacles in their hearts. By interceding for spiritual hearing and understanding. By supporting those growing in the kingdom so that they do not lose heart. What are the top 3 fruits of the Spirit found? 1. Patience. Erach apayim. Growth takes time. Fruit takes endurance. 2. Faithfulness. Emunah. Good soil produces fruit persistently. 3. Wisdom. Chokhmah. Understanding the parables reveals kingdom insight. Echoes of the Tanakh. Isaiah 6 verses 9 through 10. Hearing they do not hear, seeing they do not see. This prophecy explains why Yeshua speaks in parables. Parables reveal truth to the humble and conceal it from the hardened. Psalm 78 verse 2, I will open my mouth in parables. Asaph prefigured Yeshua's teaching method. Parables are a prophetic inheritance. These 2 verses frame the chapter. Isaiah diagnoses the heart. Psalm 78 legitimizes the method. What is the mitzvah response, Torah-based? Command. You shall diligently keep my words in your heart. Deuteronomy 11 verse 18. Fulfillment note. The sower's seed is the word. True obedience is receiving, protecting, and nurturing the seed until it bears fruit. How can we find Yeshua and the Tanakh connection? Yeshua is the sower planting the word of Yehovah. His parables fulfill Psalm 78 and reveal the kingdom. Isaiah 6 explains why many resist him. Their hearts have become dull. The weeds in the net reveal final judgment based on the heart's condition. The mustard seed, leaven, treasure, and pearl show the kingdom's hidden but unstoppable growth. The righteous, Zedek, shine after the harvest, proving the fruit of the good soil. Rejection at Nazareth fulfills the pattern. Familiarity blinds those unwilling to hear. Yeshua's parables are not illustrations, they are revelations. Hebrew declaration. Hineni Adama, Tova, Zera, Yatsi Pri. Here I am, good soil, and your seed will produce fruit. Here's the one-sentence chapter that summarizes the chapter. The sower reveals the kingdom. Hearing hearts bear fruit. Hardened hearts fall. After we've read the chapter and gone through it, here are a few heart-piercing questions about the sower and the soil. About the sower and the soils. Yeshua says, some hear the word and the evil one snatches it away. Some receive it with joy but have no root. And some are choked by worries and wealth. When you look honestly at your week, which of these patterns is closest to how you really handle what he shows you? Another, about distraction and competing loves. The thorns are not gross sin, but worries of this age and the deceit of riches. What specific worry, financial pursuit, or necessary busyness in your life is quietly strangling what Yeshua has already spoken to you? Another, about wheat and weeds and the parables of the weeds, Yeshua refuses to let his servants uproot everything in zeal, because wheat and weeds must grow together until the end. Are you more eager to purify everyone around you than to let him start by exposing whether you are actually wheat or weed in his field? Another, about mustard seed and leaven. Yeshua says the kingdom can begin as small as a mustard seed and work as quietly as leaven in dough. Do you despise the small hidden obedience he is asking for because you are waiting for something bigger, more visible, or more impressive to validate your discipleship? Another, about hidden treasure and the pearl. The man who finds hidden treasure and the merchant who discovers the pearl of great price both sell all with joy. If we examine your time, money, conversations, and dreams, what would they say you actually believe is worth selling everything for? The kingdom of Yeshua or your own plans and comfort? Another, about the dragnet and final separation. In the parable of the net, good and bad fish are separated at the end of the age. If that sorting happened tonight, would your secret life, not your public language, identify you as truly belonging to Yeshua's kingdom, or merely swimming among his people? Another, about familiarity and offense. At the end of the chapter, the people from Yeshua's hometown were offended by him because they thought they knew him. Where has familiarity with Bible stories, sermons, and language harden you so that you are no longer shocked, humbled, and changed by his words? Lastly, about being a trained disciple. Yeshua says that every Torah-trained scribe has become a disciple of the kingdom, is like a householder who brings out treasures old and new. Are you actually letting him train you so that your life carries both the old treasures of Torah and the new revelation of the kingdom? Or are you clinging to the one while ignoring the other? We'll end with the Aaronic blessing using the name. Yehovah will kneel before you presenting gifts, and he will guard you with a hedge of protection. Yehovah will illuminate the wholeness of his being toward you, bringing order, and he'll provide you with love, sustenance, and friendship. Yehovah will lift up the wholeness of his being and look upon you and set in place all you need to be whole and complete. Shalom, shalom.